Well, welcome, Jeff and Nubia, and we're here to talk about the real estate opportunity. And it's really a great opportunity. I was introduced to it 10 years ago when it was just a very small little broker. Nationally, they had less than 1,000 agents, and I had 420 agents in my brokership. And they came and said, "Hey, we got this great business model where we could decrease our costs by 95% versus regular brokers." Like Keller Williams spends $800 on just brick and mortar on their office buildings, and that comes out of the agents' commissions. And what they said, we'll go up on the cloud and we'll reduce 95% of all these costs. And so because of that this business model, they give the agents back this revenue, the revenue that the broker makes, they give back, and we'll get into detail about that, how that is. But basically, you're going to be able to enjoy three streams of income with this business model, and you can pick and choose whatever stream of income or all three streams of income that you have. And so before we get going, though, did you have, I know we reviewed this, on Wednesday, did you have any initial questions specific that, you wanted answers to, anything on your mind before I kind of show you this model?
No, do you have any questions?
Well, I think the one thing we were talking about after that meeting was to understand, hopefully we can get out of this meeting a little bit more details on how that lead program works.
Okay.
That was the
So I'm going to actually do the listing lead program on Wednesday night at that same link. And
Okay.
so that we used last Wednesday night, and it'll be at 8 o'clock Eastern time. So same time, same link, and I'm going to specifically talk about the listing leads program. And it is very effective. And again, I'll get into all the details. So are you okay with?
Yeah, that's
okay. Any other questions that you have?
The question, because I know that since you guys are more like on the virtual office.
Yeah.
What is about like the splits? Because one thing that all we agents always are concerned about the split was the expenses of the expense, how much monthly.
Yeah. Yeah. Why don't I get into those basics then? So the split is 80-20, and it's usually like most brokerages are. I know Keller Williams used to be 70-30 until eXp Realty came in and we started taking all their agents, not only because of the better split, but because we also offer stock and then we offer revenue share. And we'll get into that detail. The monthly investment is just $85. And with that investment, that includes you having access to the cloud, which means the largest real estate company office in the world now. And it has over 50 hours of live training every week that you can pick and choose which training you might want. It also has a technology department, a marketing department. Your broker is up there in 30 seconds. You can talk to your broker, get anything signed. Now, if you do need a physical office, we actually have more office. So eXp Realty now is the #1 real estate company in America. We have almost 100,000 agents. Again, when I started 10 years ago, had less than 1,000 agents. We're the fastest growing real estate company ever, and we're worldwide now. And the reason why we are is because we offer more income. We compensate agents more than any other broker can, because these brokers that are stuck with brick and mortar, that they have all this overhead. It's not just the office lease, it's the receptionist, the phone system, it just goes on and all the costs, and we've eliminated all that. And but we do have offices, and more than any other broker, and it's regus.com. So if you go regus.com, you'll see there are physical offices across, we have about 3,200 offices, and you have free access to those offices.
Well, but listen, I have an office like probably like 20 minutes, 10 minutes from here, my office, maybe 15 minutes from my house. I never go there.
Never goes there.
I just
Well,
go there.
Well, that was going to be my next statement is nobody goes there. There's no reason to go there. Yeah.
She goes there to drop a check off, to get a check. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
Somebody take a cut, which is the only input they ever have is how much money they get.
Yeah, how much money they get it.
Right.
And I never ever go to the office. Like yesterday, I have to stop by because they look at me like, who are you? Because they never.
Yeah. And we'll wire you all the money. Your funds will be wired right into you, or whatever way you want to do it. Pick it up at title. Everything works the same except better.
How would that work, Dr. Hank? Just as an example, like yesterday, she had a closing, so she had a check from the closing that she had to take to the Keller Williams office.
No, they pay also.
So like how would that work in this scenario?
They pay on the table, but because what happened was there was a document that my client is supposed to sign before we got into buying agreement, and because of that, they did pay me. They let me get my check on the closing. I had to drop the check in their office and wait.
Yeah, none of that happens anymore. So like I just was at a closing and I got it was actually my closing and like my new home that I bought, and you get to we bought a new smart home, and so my check that you would just get your check right there, or if you tell EXP, hey, at the closing we want you just to wire it in my account, we'll just wire it into your account.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So we're a technology company. We have this cloud, and you'll love the cloud too. Like I love this we call the EXP world, and that there's all these offices and hundreds of people there to serve you and help you, and your broker is there, and all this training and marketing department, technology department, and all these places to be there. But what I love best about it is we're little avatars. And so it's all live, but you're these avatars. 10 years ago, I didn't even know what an avatar was. And but I love my avatar. It has more hair than I do. It can run faster than I can. And so and literally, I mean, like there's a lake up there, and you go out on a boat, and you can have fireworks on July 4th. They have, I mean, it really is just an amazing experience. That's why we call it the EXP world. But you'll have all the resources that you need, and you'll see that like the checks and everything is all wired in. So back to, it's $85 per month, 80-20 split. Your cap is at $16,000, which means about $2.6 million of sales, and then you'll get 100% until the end of your anniversary year.
How's that compare to
Keller Williams is 18,000, and because what happens is not only they charge you the 18,000, I think it's 18, yeah, I think it's 18 together, 15,000. They also, you have to pay a royalty fee.
Yeah.
Was a deal, I paid them a royalty, $1,096 royalty fee, and then I pay almost $4,000 and they split.
Oh my God. Well, you just made a whole lot of money now.
After they put all the numbers together and they look, I paid them almost $6,000.
Yeah. So
the look was like, I'm like, what do I pay?
What do you get for that?
Right. And the kicker is you don't get as much as what you're going to get now. So for example, if Matthew decides to get back into the business, that he will now have the #1 social media leads program. It's called KV Core. K as in kick, V as in victories, core, C as in candy, KV Core. And and normally younger people, if you will, like the technology, to use the technology. And it's a #1 leads program, and it's included in the $85 per month. And it also has a CRM. And so you're going to have a CRM, you're going to have everything you want. In fact, when you join, we even make business cards for you. And so you're going to have, business cards, that you're going to have all the marketing materials that you want in the marketing department. You'll be able to see how that, is. And then, like you say, you're going to save thousands of dollars, 6,000 or whatever that is. You're going to save thousands of dollars and get more.
Let me ask you a question regards to the big lawsuit. Do you remember the lawsuit now?
It's no big deal. The only thing, so initially, when the lawsuit was announced, as the government did, their thing, that the major brokers, which again, we're the number one broker, and Keller Williams is a large broker, that we were all told that, hey, you would have some, charge and whatever. And so, all of everybody's stock went down. Ours was at about $12.50, and our stock went to like $9.50. Guess what? It's back up to $12.50. And so it's back to regular. And really the only change that's going to happen for us is we're going to need another couple of forms. Like before you engage with the buyer, you're going to have to tell them what your commissions are and stuff.
Correct? Because the buyer because before we can charge the seller 6%, then three to the buyer agent, 3 to the list agent. But the way I think this big changes now, the seller, you cannot charge the 6%. I think the buyer gonna have to pay commission to the buyer's agent.
Yeah. So one of the things that, again, and they're still working this out, July 1st, more clarity will be on all that. But, the bottom line is that there's a 6% commission that's going to be paid, and how it's divvied up, it doesn't matter. That, that people get used to, hey, when I'm a buyer, I pay that 3%. Ultimately, the buyer's really paying it all, right? Because, you say, well, the seller pays the 6%, but who's buying the house? Right. So it's, so who really pays for it? It's really a moot point and won't impact us at all, other than, again, we'll have some extra form to have to sign.
The only thing that I thought how to make this work for a buyer. Let's see, a buyer that doesn't have the money is like, okay, you're gonna have to pay my commission, but I can manage to get the seller to pay your closing cost. That's the
and that clarity, I'm not sure, but don't get hung up about any of that. And what I would do is I'd use my listing program. You don't have to deal with the buyer.
Yeah, that's true.
And listings are way more easier. Yeah. So I think that's so we don't have any hidden costs. All those games, we don't do any of those games. We don't have any rules at all, other than what you have to do according to your state. And that's it. It's just like everything else. And so with that, I'd like to show you the business model and kind of get a little bit more clarity around it. But do you have any other questions?
No, that's fine.
Okay, cool. And so let me just go to let's see.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to just give me a second here. I need to pull this up.
Yeah. We're kind of far away, but fine. This is good. I don't look that good.
Okay. Now let's see here. Oh. So let me get on that, and now gotta get back to you guys. So yeah, there we go. And share. And can you see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, great. And so I'm gonna go through this fairly quickly because it's some stuff we've reviewed, but if you have any questions, just stop me and say, hold on, tell me about that, on what it is. But basically that, the book that I wrote, Your GPS to Real Estate Success, that this is the 5 steps. And the 5 steps are, and let me see here, go next. And so the first step is mindset. And understand that EXP can help in most of these steps, but I just on my own, because I was a broker and everything, I can help in all 5 steps. And the first step is mindset, and I can help more than EXP can on this. And I have like Easy Money, Easy Life. I have a program to help the mindset again of agents called To Your Success for real estate agents. And all of that is free. Again, there are no costs for me or anything. Just as $85 per month and you get everything. We also have lead programs. So I mentioned to you, EXP has lead programs such as KB Core. There's some other broker lead programs that are available. I have lead programs that I personally think are a lot easier and way more effective. And so I use it, I've used it for years with agents, and we'll talk more like on Wednesday night, we'll get into detail like on the listing lead program. Then there's training and development. There's nobody on the planet that does as much training as we do. 50 hours a week. And then again, you can pick and choose which training that you want. If you're new, and maybe Matthew would really like this, it could jumpstart him. We have a mentor program. Again, no cost to it. He would actually have an agent to help him on his first 3 deals. And so from, what forms to use, from, and Nubia, you can help him, of course, too, but, from, hey, how do you get leads? How do you do, and then we also have new agent training. And again, because he's been out of it for a while, this is brand new agent training that, if you're a new agent, it's a good refresher for anybody. But we have, for your state, we have everything as far as training, because as you know, doing your real estate license really doesn't tell you how to be a real estate agent. They tell you about the law and, all that. This actually tells you how to become a successful real estate agent. That, yeah. And then step 4 is savings and investment. And the quick and easy one is you're going to have 5 ways to get stock without having to pay for it. And this will build your wealth, your legacy, if you will. And it's one of America's fastest growing stocks. When I first came on, it was $1.50, and it was actually penny stock. And we were invited, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago to the NASDAQ because of our growth and how capable we are for expansion and growth worldwide. And so now it's NASDAQ stock, and you're going to be able to get that 5 different ways. And just for your production, like on your first close every year, we're going to give you stock. So really an incredible program on that. And then the name of the game is passive income. And we have revenue share. It's the most lucrative. I have people that are making silly money, like, over $100,000 a month, and they don't do anything. They just had invited agents that invite agents. Keller Williams is actually a multi-level like that, pays, but we pay 20 times more than Keller Williams. So if you wonder why would, people from other brokers come, most brokers don't give their stock away. So Gary Keller's a billionaire, and he's not giving any of us any of his stock. And then revenue share, nobody pays as generously as we do. Again, 20 times more than Keller Williams. And then we have ways to build your business. And again, with our mentor program, all our training, with my mindset, et cetera, on that. So you'll have 3 streams of income. And you can pick and choose whatever you want. Some of it's just going to naturally come to you. And so number 1, your business will grow, and you'll have my lead programs, you have KB Core, you'll have better training, et cetera. Your wealth will grow with public stock. And again, 5 ways, and you'll earn it by your production. And then you'll have passive income. And passive income is received by inviting agents to this opportunity. For you guys, I'm the one that will do the recruiting. You just invite like the KW people that whatever. It's a gift to them. They haven't ever had 3 streams of income. You can easily make over 100% of your commission Like I have some agents that work for some little broker and say, hey, I get 100% commission, which isn't true. They nickel and dime them to death. But we actually pay over, you have the opportunity to get paid over 100% because we're going to pay you stock, and you also will be able to have passive income revenue share. And my lead programs, we talked about the listing lead program. We'll do that Wednesday. New home builder program's an amazing one. I created about 15 years ago when a lady came to me and she had 4 children under the age of 6. And she told me she didn't have much time and she needed a lot of money. And so we developed this new home builder program. And again, just $85. More than 50 hours of training. This is what it looks like, that, you know, the avatars, the different,
Oh, yeah.
different, you know, you're in, like in the training, you're in, you know, a larger room that we have our own, you can have team meetings, you have client meetings. When we first were doing this, I had a buyer in Canada who wanted to buy a property in New York. And so we went into one of these rooms and we did the deal right there and came to agreement and negotiation on it. And,
Wow.
and the other thing is referrals are great because you can go anywhere nationally with your referrals. Also, you recruit, if you will, you can invite agents to me. I do the recruiting. I'm a top 1% recruiter in America of agents. And you can invite anybody in the nation. It doesn't matter where they are. It doesn't have to be in your state. So anybody that you may know, and we're in Canada and Mexico and all, you know, all over the world. So, and you, it all applies that you can have this revenue share. Stock, the 5 ways. So we're EXPI is the name of the stock. If you want to look it up, that your first sale every year, we give you $200 of stock. You will cap at when you cap, again, it's 80-20, about 2.6 million. You pay in 16,000, and then you get $400 worth of stock. Again, you don't pay for it. Then you can become an icon agent, and that is doing about 2 or 3 deals a month. We'll pay you $16,000. Well, that is your cap, 16,000. So I've just showed you on how just with these 3 ways that you can actually earn more than 100% of your commission. Then every agent you do invite to me, and then, you know, they join under you, that you'll be paid $400 worth of stock. And then finally, you can take up to 5% of your commissions and buy our stock at a 5% discount. Like if you have $1 million, most people with $1 million of investment make 5% per year, $50,000.
Yeah.
So you get a 5% discount right away when you get this. So, you know, I recommend to everybody, you know, do this and sell it right away. It's yours, you know, that you can have. So this is a big deal here. And I've helped over 100 real estate agents become millionaires just on this, just on the stock. Okay. But it gets better. And so this basically is a way to look at, and I'm going to simplify everything, but I wanted to show you kind of how the whole big picture is. Out of the 20% that EXP takes, we give it all back to our agents. You see that 100% underneath that 20%, that 100%. And so basically the bottom line is that when you invite an agent, that you'll be paid when they have a closing. So let's say they have a closing this month. On the 22nd of next month, you'll be wired into your checking account about $400 for that closing. And you never did anything. You never talked to the agent, you know, unless they're friends with them, whatever, but you didn't handle that deal at all. And when they invite an agent, you get 20% of the 20%. So you'd make about $450 up to $3,200. Why is it $3,200? Once you cap, there's no more money because you keep 100% of your commission. And so the bottom line is that you can make, the average broker makes $1,000 a year per agent. It's like you're a broker now. You invite these agents, and again, I'll recruit them. you can make up to $2,800 on the first tier, and the second, and when they invite agents, $3,200. Now, agents you invite, that right column, the only reason why I put that there is EXP made a massive change in the last couple of weeks. One of the reasons why I went out and said, hey, I want to share all this good news.
Yeah.
It used to be you had to get paid on the second level, used to have 5 productive agents. Okay. Now it's 0. So on your first tier. So you could invite a person that just has their license, but they're really a recruiter. and you would be paid if they brought in 100 agents, you'd be paying $320,000 on tier 2. Before it wasn't that way. You used to have 5 productive agents. So don't get too involved in the numbers. Just know this. You don't need any agents to be producing, and you can get paid on the first 3 tiers now, which I'm going to show you an example where you can make a lot of money just on the first 3 tiers. Now, do you have any questions though before I move from this screen?
Well, just an observation. I mean, already, you know, that 20% is going to good use as opposed to going to Keller Williams for nothing.
Exactly. Yeah, the money doesn't come back to you at Keller Williams.
No.
And they keep it. And,
Yeah,
and one
exactly.
of and they got to pay for their $800 million of brick and mortar that you don't need. Again, 40 years ago, you needed brick and mortar. There was that book, that listing book. Don't need it.
My broker.
She's never seen a broker to this day.
My broker. I see they manage. She's the team leader.
Yeah.
But the broker never ever have seen him. I talked to him one time. Well, one time it was something happened, and he kind of said, "Oh yeah, you did that wrong. You lost. You have to reimburse your client $1,000 money." And that's it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and that was like probably 8 years ago.
Yeah, so this is definitely better use of that money.
I told him,
very exciting.
Well, it goes back in your pocket.
Exactly.
I told Jeff, I'm ready to move on.
Yeah.
I'm just now I'm done with Keller Williams.
Good. Well, it's a smart move. And, just like I say, anybody that sees that and understands financial, what's best for me, that will put more money in my pocket, this is. But let me give you a quick, easy example. If you just have 6 agents and let's say they close a deal every other month, and so you'd make $2,800 on each one, and that's $16,000. And then if they invite 6, you'd make $3,000 a month passive income.
That's pretty wild. That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then plus, you'd get shares of stock. You'd get 6 agents times $2,400 of stock. So just
wow.
Yeah.
The stock plus the income. That's pretty wild.
Yeah. And so, but I don't teach this because we're not here for $3,000 a month. And I know that, Matthew isn't in for it either on that. And what I do is, and again, we mainly focus on helping our agents to grow their business. But we don't care if you want to do that or if you want to recruit or both or whatever. You normally recommend that, just like on Friday afternoon, call a few agents that you've, had closings with, and you say something like, hey, I met this Dr. Hank guy. He's a guru of real estate, and he has some amazing ways to increase our compensation as an agent. And would you like to talk to him about it? And it's as easy as that, and just introduce me to him. But we do 10, we'll get you 10. And basically, if you get 10 agents, so let's say in the next year you just invite, remember, there's 2 million agents in the United States. We have 100,000. So you have 95% of the market still open.
Gotcha.
And so there's plenty of opportunity that people just haven't seen it, that don't realize, what this is. That and we grassroots it, you know, we don't spend millions of dollars on advertising that, you know, this is, you know, what we're doing right now. So let's say those 10 each get on average 10 people. Well, 10 times 10 is 100. And that if they just do a deal every other month, you'd be paid $320,000. You'd actually be paid more than that. And I know these numbers kind of like, oh my gosh, you know, and I'm going to show you some examples, but I have people that have moved to, you know, Puerto Rico because they make so much money and they don't want to pay taxes anymore. And we have no requirements, you know, like you don't have to live in a particular state or whatever. You just need to be licensed, you know, and with an MLS in order to qualify for all this. And then I like using this example, a 5-year financial plan. So I have never seen any 5-year financial plan that's better than this one. And it's very conservative. So let's say we just have agents that just sell like raw land for $150,000. The average sales $400,000, but they only do 6 transactions a year. Okay, so you're not going to get $2,800 from them. That they don't cap. You know, they're not doing much. You only introduce me to one agent every 2 months. Okay, so you have a closing, introduce that agent, and you know they join. Those agents only introduce me to, because I'll help with your entire line now because I get paid on all this too. You know,
Right.
Nubia, you'd be right under me. You know, I'd actually make more money on Matthew than I would on Nubia. I don't look at it that way, but you know, it's
I got you.
$2,800 versus $3,200, and so if they just give me one agent every 4 months, again in 5 years, you'd only be on the 6th level. You'd only have 30 agents at that point. Your annual income the rest of your life would be $250,000.
Yeah,
Real-
it's amazing.
That's some powerful stuff.
Yeah. And that's why we're the fastest real estate
Yeah.
growing company in America ever in the history. And why we help you grow your commissions. We give you our stock. You'll own part of the company, and you own enough. You can earn enough to own over 100% of your commissions, and then just spend, you know, 2 hours every Friday inviting agents, and you can easily do this. And Nubia, you know, with you on the number of closes, you know, agents that you do know, like once you start doing that and just calling them up, you know, and say, hey, you know, how are you? You know, we did this closing a while back, or hey, I was with Keller Williams too, and I'd just like to introduce you to Dr. Hank. Don't say EXP, because people have conceptions, you know, brokers have poisoned the water and they're saying whatever they're saying, or what it's about me. And so just say, no, it's about this Dr. Hank guy. He's written 21 books. You know, this is something special, because it is. I can do all 5 of these steps. I can get you passive income in other ways. There's ways to do it on the mortgage side for, you know, investments in real estate, you know, all kinds of stuff. But this is how it is. And then here's just some examples. All these people are millionaires. Okay. And they started when I did. And I'm a millionaire because of this. Okay, because of the stock and the revenue share. But Juan and Bettina, in 12 months, they just got 14 agents. And then those agents invited agents and invited agents. And now they have thousands of agents. Each one of these people have thousands. And because people just invite agents. And again, there's 95% out there. Wilco, dear friend of mine, 7 months. He did this many agents. Again, he has thousands of agents now. He within a year had 800 from these numbers, had 800 agents under him.
Wow.
Yeah. And all he did was a lunch and learn every week. And in fact, that's what I did too. I did a lunch and learn. But again, now that we're more on Zoom and because of the pandemic and everything, this is how we do it. And it's really effective. You know, you just need us to talk to one agent a week and we'll be set for life. And Jeff and Amanda, Brent Gold, so he's the top dog. He's recruited so many. Look at, he got 24, you know, in the first 2 months. In the 2 months altogether, he had under 21. He makes over $1 million a month. Passive income. Yep.
Wow.
Passive.
Amazing.
Yep. And then you can get paid on mortgages, but we're not going to get into that. For brokers, maybe we even want to go to that broker and say, hey, You want to keep your name, not Keller Williams' name,
Hey.
but his name. Want to keep your name. You want to work less, make more money, because the average broker makes $1,000 per agent. Well, we have 7 levels, and all of them pay, more than the $1,000. So you're going to make way more money, and we'll take care of it in a better way. We'll give better training to your agent. When I had 420 agents, I said one of the reasons why I decided to do this, I saw the opportunity, even though it was just penny stock at the time, but I knew this was best for my agents. It was better and more training that the broker, I wasn't that available because I was doing all kinds of other stuff, if you will, that now you can go up and in 30 seconds talk to a broker. It's just like unbelievable. So,
Hey, Dr. Hank,
Yeah.
you went past the mortgage thing, but can we just touch on that for a second? Because Nubia has given, I don't know how many different mortgage brokers business that if there's a way she can make money off of that legally,
there is. So the key on this is you have to to legally get paid, you have to get your loan officer license.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Now I
Yeah.
see what you mean. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can do it, and then they would pay you up to $2,500. I'm
Yeah.
licensed in Texas, and Florida right now, and I just had a closing in Florida. All I did was a referral for the mortgage, and my mortgage guy can do any state in the U.S. Did the Florida thing, and I was they wire me money too, that $2,000, in there. So that's the key. Is you have to do it. Now, the other thing though, if you're giving a loan officer leads, buyer leads, we want their leads back too. And that they got leads, and that, and so, I would find out what loan officer, because basically they all have the same rates, legally they can't do too much different. And that get with a loan officer who will give you leads, because they have their own connections and their, networks and their
Right.
networking that they do, where they get a buyer. Well, that buyer gets pre-qualified and they need an agent. And most of the time, and again, I know this whole world a lot, and most of the time, they're not giving Nubia those people. They're given, whoever they knew a couple of years ago or whatever in their agreement. And it's like, hey, I want this. And you'll find somebody that will do it. And that way it'll increase your business. Now, it'll increase your buyer business, but still thousands of dollars, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still good. It's still good. So let's see. So basically, real estate is evolving in our week. It's cloud-based, the best and most training with my mindset training, exclusive lead programs. And, this is kind of like the cake is eXp Realty, and then the frosting on the cake is all my stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it's like, wow. So this is actually better this is eXp on steroids.
And I think somebody who's not exposed to you and your teachings, they don't realize just how big a deal that is. That's huge.
Right, exactly. You're exactly right, Jeff. And that, and that, they hear, well, okay, and we'll try it, and 21 bucks, maybe I got something to say,
Exactly.
Yes.
But yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. And then unparalleled residual passive income. Nobody pays this type of money like we do. And so if you're making, a financial decision, that there's no decision to be made.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. And then agents love it, and this guy, and this sort of $10 million agent now. Brokers love it. They reduce all their costs, their liability. And so the bottom line, 80-20 split, 16 cap. After that, get 100% your investment. All my stuff is free. The first month when you join, it just takes like 45 minutes. I had someone join the other day. It takes like 45 minutes to do it. I can just text you the information on, go to join.exprealty.com, send an email to your broker, on, if it's, what state are you guys in again?
Georgia,
Georgia.
Yeah, and so it'll be, how does it, it's like, GA, dot, broker at exprealty.com. And you'll ask them for the MLS, letter, because you need to have from your new broker to your current MLS that they approve, that the broker approves. And so you'll instantly have all this stuff. And so it's really, fill out and I can help you fill it out. There's just a couple things. They'll say, do you want to join a team? The answer is no. A team means that some broker will get another percent, like another 20. You're on my team,
right.
but we're not doing team.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
We want you guys to have the most money in the 80-20. So no team.
Mhm.
And the other thing it'll ask if you want to participate in the stock program. And the answer is yes. That's the one where 5% of your commissions, you won't even miss it, but you can buy the stock at a 5% discount. I recommend it. It's your option. You do what you want, but I've helped 100 people, over 100 people become millionaires by doing that. So,
Good.
you want to do that too. The $149 per month, that'll include business cards, you getting up on the cloud, basically everything that you want, KV Core, et cetera. And then it's just $85 per month.
So it's 149 for the first month and then 85 for every month after that.
Yeah. And it's a business cards and everything that we're getting you. So you would have had to pay for it anyway.
Yeah, no worries.
That we got it. And then every closing, so that, because people say, hey, what about E&O insurance? That at the closing, and what I love about this, the way they do it, instead of charging you $400 a year or whatever for, we don't do that. Just every closing, you pay $65, which again, you won't even notice, in your thousands of dollars. But that is a $25 broker review to keep you out of jail, if you will. So they really do look at it. And then $40 errors and omissions insurance that'll cover you. So you're covered now as far as making sure that, you don't get into trouble, if you will.
What other fees? Are you paying like an MLS fee?
No, FMLS they charge. There is FMLS they will charge.
MLS is separate, and so
It's
that's a
separate.
whole
Yeah, it's
separate
not,
thing
yeah.
that MLS
Yeah.
does. So you'll still pay the MLS, but I don't think you should have any other fee. And again, that's separate. It doesn't go to EXP or anything, but basically, bottom line is we're $85 a month, 80-20 split. And the cap is lower. You're gonna save, $6,000 or whatever now.
Yeah, let me ask a question regards, let's see, because when now my clients, when I get their earnest money, I used to get the check and take to my office, but now they do online, they do the payment, they send the earnest money, go to the office. I don't have to touch the check.
Right.
How that works, this is a virtual office, that's the same way?
Yeah. And it'll
Everything
even
online
be
then?
easier for you. Yeah, it'll even be easier for you. And you'll see, and if there is an exception, again, the broker has all that detail, but believe me, we have that handled to where it's the most effective way. If you do need a check, we do have a PO box, and and it's all legal and where it needs to be and everything. So yeah.
How that works with the do you guys use Dalu to write the contract, or because
SkySlope. So are you familiar? Have you heard of SkySlope?
No.
SkySlope, it's almost exactly the same way you do your transactions. It's just easier. And we have all kinds of resources. We actually have training every week for those people that aren't familiar. In 20 minutes, you'll know how to enter your transactions. So it's called SkySlope, and it's technology-wise the easiest and best one to enter your transactions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So she could cancel her Dalu.
Yep.
No, I can't. So no, I just have to learn that first.
No, I'm just saying eventually though you could.
Yeah, because
it'll take you 20 minutes to learn. It's easy. And EXP will, only does SkySlope. And And so, and like I say, it's easy. And, you know,
Okay.
I figured it out in, I don't know, less than 20 minutes. And again, we have training every week. You'll get up and running on that right away. That, remember, we've onboarded, you know, close to 100,000 agents. And so we got this down.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, makes
Yeah,
sense.
Yeah,
and
because we have in Keller Williams, they have the KW command,
yeah,
you know, it's a pain. Then I never learned how to do it. The whole
Yeah.
thing, to be honest with you, was it's nightmare.
right.
However, I use that's the reason I pay Dalup monthly fee.
Yeah.
So for me, it's easier to use Dalup.
Yeah, yeah, all that goes away, and you'll see it's
Okay.
real easy that it
Yeah, I
is.
look here.
And you got resources there, and you know, live
Absolutely.
people to talk to, and you know, and we're here to help you because, you know, again, we've been
Help
through
you.
this, and we want to be, you know, as seamless as possible for your transition over, and for you to get up and running and, you know, doing
Yeah.
your business.
This is kind of the beauty of it. The way I see it is, obviously, for her to be successful, you're successful. So there's an incentive to help.
That-
Whereas these people down the road, you drop a check, you get half of it back, and you don't even know what they did, you know?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's an incentive for, you know, all of us to
Yeah.
help,
Yeah.
you know, Nubia and you know,
Yeah.
hopefully Matthew that and you know, and I'll personally, you know, help Matthew on his path. If he wants to get into real estate, we'll, you know, make it easy. And he probably has to, you know, renew or do whatever. And again, that's the state. You know, there's things that we have to abide by, whatever the state wants in Georgia.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but it'll play out great. Yeah,
I think
good.
you do great on that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's a way to empower you and your others, improve your family's life, live a freer, richer life, savings for your future, passive income. And since we're selling homes, oh, we might as well get free lead programs, best training, public stock, revenue
Yeah.
share that pays 20 times more, and an opportunity to contribute to the joy and well-being of others. And,
Mhm.
you know, and that's probably, that last one is really what I, you know, where I realized this was, if this model, you know, could sustain itself, that this would be it. And here I am 10 years later, and, you know, have helped just thousands of agents to live a better life and have more income, and not have the
Mhm.
broker take it, you know?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
you know, I know we had talked about this before, and you know, she had, for several reasons, we weren't really in a good position, but it sounds like you're ready to go now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just I think my time has come with
Well,
Keller
that's
Williams,
great,
and
Nubia.
time for me to, you know, move it. And I think also there'll be maybe good Matthew come aboard. If he doesn't, it's his life. He needs to decide what he wants to do.
Yeah,
But I think it's time for, you know, and I know another agents that also are Brazilians that I can see that probably I can recruit them, you
yeah,
know, talk to them about. And
yeah,
but before I was so unsure,
yeah,
you know, about Leave Keller Williams
right,
and the name and blah blah blah. But
right,
yeah, they don't bring anything to the table. They don't give me any leads.
right,
You know, Keller Williams is good for the big agents and new agent they start to training, and then the big one, the big names there, because that's what they give attention to.
yeah,
You know,
right,
and then for me it was like, you know, I'm done. I told
yeah,
him, I was like, I'm done. I just need
yeah.
a new
I-
start, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
And
I
if
never
we have
met,
you, we see the leads, you know, also there's a good thing is you training, you
right,
know, thank you. And I think I'm ready now. I wasn't. Well, first time I talked to you, I was ready. And sometimes it takes me time.
hey, it's
I
all
can
good. It's all good. Everything in God's timing, and it's perfect timing. And you know, like, I've never met a buyer or somebody selling their house saying, hey, you know, what broker you are at? You know, the buyer
Yeah,
saying,
right.
what house is this? You know, they don't care what broker.
Yeah.
And I always get a kick out of that. And then again, even for new agents and like Matthew, that we have this mentor program. He's going to have a live agent, to help
Yeah.
him first 3 deals. And then we have all this training. And so, it used to be Keller Williams that, they still have great training. It's just that ours is better. They don't have a mentor that helps them on the first 3 deals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
we
we're
have
starting
all
to see, more EXP signs out there. I mean,
Yeah.
Well-
properties, so.
number
Yeah.
1 in the nation, you oughta. Yeah,
Yeah.
I used to, have people when we weren't, when we had 1,000 agents, they said, well, I don't see any of your signs. And I said, well, you will, but what does that have to do with your income?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Where do you guys have a website? Because I'm gonna need new signs.
Yeah.
And
Oh, that's fine,
the
yeah.
ordinance, how do I have it do you have a site that I can?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
again, your broker will have all that specific information.
Okay.
And you'll be able to go up in the cloud and within, again, 30 seconds, be able to talk to your broker and say, hey, what's like, for example, what's the cheapest local, do we have a deal? Who does EXP use to have a
Yeah.
deal on making signs? And then remember, we have a marketing department. So the whole marketing department can help you to design that. So all that detail, they will have on there and to help you. And then we have agents, all, in your area that, I've had the experience where someone said, hey, I just joined and I just got a listing, do you have a sign? We'll get you a sign. There's agents around to get it. And so if you want to, that the first step would be to do this join.exprealty.com.
Right here.
Okay.
And then I will text you the simple steps. And again, it's just to make it even easier, it's just, hey, email your broker and ask for, the MLS letter, and tell them what MLS you're in so that they can have that letter, because the MLSs require a letter from the broker. And then, pretty much, and then go to the state, of course, and you have to change your license from Keller Williams to EXP. And they'll, and they've done that many times. So the
I
state.
think I have to send an email to the broker and ask them to release my license.
No, not to release it. And what I would do, so the only legal requirement you have is that you need to inform them that you're leaving. You don't need to tell them. So I would send an email. You've never met this guy anyways.
Yeah.
I would just send an email, say, I wanted to let you know that I'm moving my license, my sponsorship to another broker. That's it. And then we'll talk about, maybe we could go to that broker and, and all we need is, because see, they don't know about this until they hear it. That because they're usually close by, people, oh, I'm not leaving. We had that Brent, a guy that I showed you that makes over $1 million. He was Keller Williams. And he said, why on earth? He was already making $1 million a year on real estate. And so he was like, why on earth would I want to leave? Well, now he's making $1 million a month and not having to do real estate.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think here was not, you asked them to release your license, and then the broker released the license, and then the new broker will.
Yeah, no, that you just tell your broker, just inform them that you are leaving.
Okay.
And that's your legal obligation. Don't tell them what broker or anything is, then they'll want to, whatever, try to talk you out of it or whatever. That, just say, I wanted to let you know that, I'm switching brokers and moving my sponsorship with the Real Estate Commission. And then you go out to the Real Estate Commission and you change your sponsorship. And they're pretty easy on that. Normally there's a number you could call and they actually answer pretty quick. Like it's not like, waiting on the phone, like with AT&T or something. And so you can get a hold of them pretty quick. And then and then they could just walk you through it, but it basically is you just changing your sponsorship and you'll see EXP is up there, and you'll just hit, you know, EXP. And again, it's really easy to do, and you should be able to call them if you have any questions.
Okay, but what about the broker here? It doesn't have to be a broker here in Georgia, or do I have to pick a specific broker here?
So legally, again, we just abide, the only laws and rules, regulations is what the state is. And the state requires that we have a designated broker. So that's your designated broker. But because we have so many agents in Georgia, we have many assistant brokers that have as much power. And so there is probably one in your area, but that's where you'll go up to your up to the cloud and to talk to the broker. And hey, tell me about signs that you know, what is there a broker locally here? Again, you really don't need one locally. I mean, you haven't even seen your broker, you know. You really don't need that. And so just pre-pave it as, hey, this is all going to be easy, because really in 45 minutes you can be over you know, to EXP.
Okay. All right, so she sends the email to her brokers saying she's leaving, not telling her where she's going, but that she's going to change her sponsorship. Then she goes onto the Real Estate Commission's website, chooses the switching from Keller Williams to EXP, and then what is the third step that gets her linked to EXP? Is there something else she needs to do?
And then there's join.exprealty.com.
She does that after she's gone to the commission?
No, first. Do this first.
Okay.
And so you have to go, because EXP needs to know that you're having it, and then you want to send EXP, you know, just an email. It's going to be in my text to you guys.
Oh, okay.
On the steps on what to do. And again, it'll take you 45 minutes and you'll be over.
All right.
And because it's Saturday, you know, that, you know, it would be Monday or whatever that, you know, to do.
All right.
Very good.
Good.
Great.
Thank you, Dr. Hank.
Okay, well, thank you.